Hey guys, welcome back to Terror Takeover, your one stop shop for all things creepy, disgusting, and horrifying. I'm your host, Crow, and it's just me today. We needed to kind of have a little bit of a break, so we're just doing a little filler episode today, talking about updates in horror and movies that are coming out shortly that we may not have had quite enough time to give a little bit more of a spotlight to, a little bit about my week. I kind of had a great week actually, guys. Yesterday, first of all, if you don't know this about me yet, am a huge thrifter. Love thrifting and I'm pretty good at it, might I add. I think I actually thrifted this hat as well, which I've got my little horror buttons on it, horror movie addict, and this one says allergic to sunlight, I think. And then I think I've got like what do I have back here? Friday the 13th. Love pins, love buttons. But yesterday I actually went to the Goodwill near me and I found like an $150 Logitech gaming keyboard, which you know that I love to game for, I think it was like $5 or something like that. And it's in perfect condition, basically brand new. And I don't remember if I mentioned this on the podcast yet, but a few months ago, I guess like a month or two, I found an $1,000 projector at Goodwill for $3. And I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally fired it up last night. And I have this big plain wall in my living room that I projected it onto. Looked perfect. It was amazing. So now that defeats the purpose of me having to get a TV in that room. And now I'm probably just going to start watching all my horror movies on the big projection on my wall in the living room, which is kind of amazing. And I'm super stoked about that. Actually, I think the model of the projector that I have is called a home cinema, the home cinema model or something like that. So it's kind of amazing. Movie night is going to be at my house from now on, basically. Also, you guys often ask me about music stuff, what's going on with music. I just wanted to mention, because of that, for those of you who are interested, I have been working on another music project again recently, which is great. I'm really excited about it because I am not the kind of person that likes to stay away from performing or away from writing music for too long, being that it's something that I really, really enjoy. So, you're going to be seeing a little bit more about that over the next few months, I will say. The ultimate release is going to be closer toward later in the year. So that's something that I'm super excited about and something that if you want to see it, I'm going to be posting about it more probably on my personal page, probably not so much on the actual Terror Takeover Instagram because it's not quite as relevant. Or you could just reach out to me, excuse me, and I will let you know. All right, guys, so we're going to get into these movies right now. This one is a little bit more obvious. It actually came out today, which, if you're wondering, yes, I did record this episode the day I'm releasing it. So I'm doing everything last minute today. But Beetlejuice came out today, obviously directed by Tim Burton. I'm really excited to see this one. This one came out in theaters in my area, I think last night, but I was just totally swamped with other things that I had to do that I wasn't actually able to check it out. But it's bringing back a lot of the old actors from the movies: Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara. And then also, of course, you know that Jenna Ortega is like one of my favorite actresses right now, and she's in it as well. So that is like one of the huge reasons why I want to see this movie. Willem Dafoe as well, who I love. Monica Bellucci, which, if you didn't know, Monica Bellucci and Tim Burton are actually dating right now, and they make like the most perfect little goth couple. So cute. According to IMDb, I think you guys probably know a little bit about the plot of this one already, but according to IMDb, Beetlejuice is about after a family tragedy, which I don't know what that is yet. Three generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter Astrid accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. So Astrid is the one played by Jenna Ortega. The movie looks really great, and I've heard really good things about it so far, even though it's only been out for like basically a few hours. But I heard that it is totally out there. It's totally paying homage really well. Obviously, not paying really homage, but it ties in really well with the original movie. And I hear that all the actors did a great job, namely Jenna Ortega. And I've been seeing a lot of promotional material as well, just interviews that Tim Burton and Winona Ryder have been doing about this movie. And it's kind of adorable because you can tell that they've really, over the years, built up such a strong bond. Being that she not only worked on this movie with him, but Edward Scissorhands as well, and probably other ones that are slipping my mind at the moment. So I have high hopes for this one, hoping to see it probably this weekend, and maybe we can even talk about that on the next episode. We haven't quite decided yet. Another movie that came out today that I actually haven't been hearing anything about, which I'm really surprised by, and maybe that's my own fault. It's called The Front Room, and this one came out today as well. I'm gonna have to check and see if it's in theaters near me. Maybe I'll just go for a double feature. It's produced by A24, which makes it all the more surprising that I haven't heard about it. It's the directorial debut of Max Eggers and Sam Eggers. That's right. If that sounds familiar, that's because these are the younger twin brothers of Robert Eggers, which everybody, if you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you know that I love Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers is responsible for The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, and Nosferatu coming out in December. He's an incredible director. He's also really, really good at kind of doing I don't really know how to describe it, not really like a period piece, but doing a movie that's based in a time other than right now. He's kind of incredible at that. It's starring Brandy, like this singer Brandy from the 90s, Brandy Norwood, as she goes by now, Andrew Burnap, and Katherine Hunter. And according to IMDb, it tells the story of a newly pregnant couple who are forced to take in an ailing, estranged stepmother. So I watched a little bit of the trailers on this. I don't really know super what to expect, but I've heard good things about it. Also, it's nice to see Brandy in a horror movie again, because I think the last one that she was in was I Know What You Did Last Summer or something like that, but it's been like forever since she's been kind of like in a notable movie, but also in a horror movie, which is really cool. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, definitely go ahead and check it out and let me know what you think as well. I'm going to be seeing that one probably some point next week. Another movie coming out pretty soon, which I've been seeing a lot of the trailers for, and it looks really good, is called Speak No Evil, coming out September 13th, which is next week. Produced by Blumhouse and directed by James Watkins. Now, this movie, and Shar is actually the one that mentioned this movie is actually a remake of a Danish film, which goes by the same name. I'm pretty sure it's Danish. Let me just check that out. Right, so the Danish version of this film came out in 2022, and I think Shar actually saw this one, and she said that it was crazy. So I don't know, honestly, that I'll see the Danish version before this version, but it looks really good. It's starring James McAvoy. Is that how you say it? McAvoy, right? Mackenzie Davis, Scott McNairy, and Aisling Franciosi. It looks really good. It's basically, according to IMDb as well, I didn't write up my own summary on these movies today because I didn't feel like it, but according to IMDb, a family's invited to spend a weekend in an idyllic country house, unaware that their dream vacation will soon become a psychological nightmare. So basically, this couple goes to they're supposed to only spend a weekend with this other couple and their family. I think that they just met or something like that in this nice like country house. And basically, the couple that owns the country house is just acting really, really weird and just like different from how they acted whenever the other couple first met them, and just super out of character. So I'm really excited to see that. I love a movie in which people just seem normal at first and then they just totally like go off the deep end and act crazy. I feel like that's my story of my life every single day. So I think that'll be really interesting to see how that goes. And like I said, that one comes out September 13th, next Friday. Another one coming out soon, which is another one that I feel like hasn't been getting a whole lot of promo, is called Never Let Go. It's coming out September 20th, next Friday, 2 weeks from today, actually. So 2 weeks from now, sorry. And it is a Lionsgate film directed by Alexander Aja or Alexandre Aja. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. However, this is the same director as High Tension from 2003 and the remake of Hills Have Eyes 2006, which are both incredible movies. I actually have High Tension on Blu-ray. I'd like to get a copy of the Hills Have Eyes remake because it's really, really good. I know that some of you are purists and aren't as crazy about the remakes, but I loved it, and I have high hopes for this director. The movie is actually starring Halle Berry, which is crazy because I feel like we should have gotten more promo for this movie, right? She's like massive, but also she looks unrecognizable in my opinion. Like they did some kind of like aging makeup on her to kind of look like she's been through the ringer. And of course she's like a gorgeous woman, so she really looks almost unrecognizable. According to IMDb, a family that has been haunted by an evil spirit for years has their safety and surroundings come into question when one of the children questions if the evil is real. If the evil is real. So I guess like whatever evil is like following them or chasing them or whatever. I don't super understand the plot of this movie from the trailer, but basically what happens is it looks like this family has this ritual kind of like every night where they say the same almost like prayer like chant, and they have to touch the house in certain areas and things like that, I guess, as like a protection seal. And there's basically these, it honestly, it's giving Evil Dead vibes. Like it looks like there is some sort of possession involved, but basically they're having to fight off these people that are demonic. There's clearly like an evil spirit going on within them, but there's also some kind of like Bird Box vibes as far as like the maternal figure taking care of the two kids and making sure that they routinely do certain things so as to not be a, basically confronted by this evil force. This movie looks pretty crazy. Also, it's the perfect time of year for a Cabin in the Woods film. I love a Cabin in the Woods film in general, but especially so when it starts coming out kind of in the turn of fall, like whenever things are starting to cool down a little bit. I think it's just the perfect timing for that. And this movie just looks off the wall bonkers. So this is definitely something that's on my list. Definitely something that I am going to keep an eye out for. Also, there are some more movies coming out within the next coming months. We don't have to get super into them now. Smile 2 comes out October 18th. I loved the first one, so I am super excited to see how this one is going to turn out. We also have Heretic, which comes out November 15th, sorry, and the long awaited Nosferatu, which comes out on Christmas, actually, I guess. December 25th is what it says here. So those are all something that I'm going to be super stoked to see. I'm very excited for those. Also, I just realized I didn't mention there is a movie that I feel like has just been getting promo now after it's already been released. I feel like I haven't seen that many people talking about this at all. But this movie, Strange Darling, came out at the end of August, and I have been trying to go out and see it, but I just don't know exactly where to go. I think they might be showing it in my city, but just at like one time a day. And so I'm just gonna have to catch that at some point this week. Kyle Gallner is in this movie, and I am so here for the Kyle Gallner renaissance. I am so happy that he's been making a comeback, especially in horror, because we loved him in Jennifer's Body. We loved him in Haunting in Connecticut. And I think that he's just a great actor, and he's grown into an even better and more defined actor. And I heard that he had a great role in this movie. So if you saw Strange Darling, let me know what you thought of that, because like I said, I haven't heard basically anybody talking about it. So I'm hoping to as well see that at some point, either this weekend or the upcoming week. All right, guys, I know that this was like a super short episode, and I am sorry that it couldn't be longer. We will be back on track in the next couple of weeks. I just wanted to take a quick minute to update you kind of on everything that's been going on, every movie that's going to be coming out over the course of the next month. And what are you guys watching right now? Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for horror movies, or if there's anything that you want us to talk about in an episode. We really appreciate it. We always appreciate your feedback, your comments, all of that. It helps us know what to talk about next. And as usual, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your support. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye, guys.